See, these dudes kill me. That's what's wrong with this generation today. These young boys today, what does she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. What else you need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible? Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and some children, to have a family? That's our damn job.
So I'm sure you guys already have an opinion when it comes to that topic. I really didn't want to play the whole clip. If you guys want to watch it, you can go ahead and YouTube it and find the original clip. So this is what I'm going to say. I've read so many comments, whether it's on YouTube or on Instagram, and most of the men, not all men, okay, most of the men were disagreeing with, Steve Harvey, and many of them were saying, women are claiming for equality, we want equality, and why is it that when it comes to, the household, why is it that we expect them to kind of take care of the women? And on the other hand, you have many women, for the most part, that were cheering, right? They were like, yes, Steve, we deserve a man who's going to take care of us, 100%. So this is my take on the whole thing, right? This is my opinion. This is what I stand for. Many people may disagree, but at the end of the day, everyone is entitled of the opinion, right? So I do believe that women, we go into a different era. It depends on the society as well, because when I look at certain countries in Africa, for example Cameroon, men are still making a lot of the financial decisions because most of the jobs are given to them, right? They earn way more than women. Now when you come to America, for example, women are now engineers, they are now CEOs, they are now doctors, and in other societies as well. It really depends on the society. But now, do women have to bring something to the table? I would say yes, right? I would say yes. But here's the thing. Life is different, right? Like the era of my parents is not the same. My dad was a sole breadwinner. He made sure that my mom had everything. He made sure that we had everything. And my mom was managing the rest of the things, right? Like my dad would bring the money and then my mom would manage it and things like that. For the most part, when I grew up, that's how it was, right? Today, women are more in a position of making the same income as the husband. So I do understand that it has to be a partnership, right? It has to be a partnership. Yeah, that's what I believe. It has to be a partnership. Now, does it have to be 50-50? It really depends on the couple. I also watched this thing with Gabrielle Union. She was on a podcast, I think, and then she made that statement that in her household, everything is split 50-50.
I think I just have more responsibilities, for my money. So I get nervous, like, oh God, that movie didn't open, well, what does that mean? Am I going to have enough to hold everybody up?
And that's when Gabrielle explains why bills are split evenly in their home.
Say I'm head of household because in this household, we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts there's always this like gorilla on your back that it is like, you better work, you better work.
And many women, once again, kind of went against it because they were like, how can you split everything 50-50 when your husband is making way more, I think 3 times more than her. But anyway, so I do believe that women do have to contribute in the household. If we want to build generational wealth, if we do want to, give a better life for the next generation, for our children, then it only makes sense that women should go ahead and participate in the household. I've also heard, many men who say they don't expect the woman to give anything, to contribute anything, right?
How important is it for your woman to contribute income to your household?
0, none, doesn't matter.
Not at all?
None.
Do you feel it?
What do you mean?
The connection? You don't mind if she's like a housewife?
No, absolutely not. As long as she has her own things and goals that she wants to do, that's all that matters.
You also have men like that, and those type of men will be called, traditional. They will hold traditional values. So the funny thing is that in that clip, right? If you watch the rest of the clip, then they went ahead and talked about, the women who are like, I'm independent, I don't need a man and all of that. And then Steve Harvey was like, every woman needs a man, just like men need women, right? here's my take when it comes to my personal life, right? I'm a single woman, if you guys don't know. And many of the men that have come up to me, right? Men who have tried to date me and things like that, I've never, like out loud stated that I'm an independent woman, I want to make my own money. I don't need a man, all of that, you know. But many men actually come with that energy, right? Like I don't even have to say it. It's already implied that. So I've gotten so many statements, just because maybe based on, assets and money, whatever, I'll probably out earn some of these men. And because some of the things that they want me to do or say is not really in alignment with my values, then I'll hear things like, you're an independent woman, you think you don't need a man. I've never said that, right? I've never said that. And I think many men, unfortunately, when they see, independent women who can pay their own bills, women who are quote unquote successful, they already assumed that those women, want to wear the pants. And I always say this thing, as much as I'm really ambitious, and I've always been, even when I was a teenager, I always wanted to be super duper successful. Okay. And many of the things that I'm doing today, the role that I'm taking on today, right? I would have wished, let me really tell you the truth. I would have wished somebody would have come along and kind of like take those type of responsibility. I don't want to wear the pants, okay? I don't want to wear the pants. And I think for most of the women that I know, the women around me don't want to wear the pants. But here's usually what happens. We have to wear the pants, right? Because there's no man pulling up for us. We have to be out there. We have to make sure that the family is okay. Once upon a time back then, let me talk about African families. We're expecting, the boy, the son, to be taking care of the family. But today, I think it's obvious that, many of the women who are now lawyers, doctors, entrepreneurs, all of that, they're now, filling that spot, right? They're making sure that the mom is doing well, dad is doing well, the siblings have money to go to school and things like that. So I know girlfriends of mine who are really successful entrepreneurs and, or maybe they have, a 9-to-5 job, whatever. And many of them would tell me, I wish I had somebody that I can just, lean on and I wouldn't have to do all of that. Many of the women that I know, right, including me, who are quote unquote, successful or independent, if you must say it, we don't want lazy men. We don't want lazy men. And I'm saying it, let me just land. Before you men start attacking me, and let me just land, okay? I've had some men approach me and talking about they have this job, barely pay their own bills. They're still getting help from friends and family members. And they talk about equality, right? Like now that women are earning, women are supposed to take care of men. I remember back in 2016, had this conversation with this guy. He was living in a different state. We never went on a date, just basic conversation. And I remember him talking about, listing what he is expecting from a woman. And the list goes this way. I want her to know how to cook. I want her to know how to make love, like a P star. Okay, that's exactly what he said. I want her to take care of the children because I want to have 4 of them. And I want her to pay the bills because I make money, but it would be good for her to also make money so that we can split the bills 50-50. I want her to not, have a girls group or girls trip, go on trips with her girlfriends because she will have to take care of the household. And then he went ahead and mentioned that, his mom is sick and he wants a woman who's going to also take care of his his family, right? The parents. I remember asking him one day, I said, okay, you're an engineer. What if your woman is also an engineer? What if she's an accountant? What if she's a lawyer? What if, she's anything, but she has a 9-to-5 job and you leave at 7 a.m. in the morning and she leaves at 7 a.m. and you guys come back at the same time? Do you still expect her to be making fresh food every day? And he basically said yes. Do you expect her to wake up in the morning and get the kids ready? And he said yes. And he went on telling me how he wasn't good with children. That's why he needs a woman. How that's the responsibility of a woman to take care of the children. He wouldn't expect the woman to think he's going to change diapers. I mean, conversation was, you guys can already have full picture, right? So basically, he wanted the woman to make, as much money as he was making so that they can split the bills 50-50. But at the same time, he wanted her to take care of his family, the family that they were going to have together, the cooking, the cleaning, everything. And I remember 1 year later, because I think by the third conversation I had with him, I basically told him this is not going anywhere. And then a year later, he reached out to me and then he said I was immature. And then I said, what happened in the last 12 months? Did you really mature? He said he was immature and, he still expect the woman to make money. And anyway, that being said, unfortunately, this is a lot of what my generations, the women who are quote unquote, independent, whatever, that's what we experience. Okay.
Do you want to know the major theme that I'm seeing in the divorce industry as a divorce lawyer as I do consults these days? I am seeing working moms doing it all. And I'm seeing the husbands step back and say, Hannah, I don't got to do a thing. She's got the kids, she's got the groceries, she's got the laundry, she's got the meals, she's got the work. And by the way, she's making all the money and she's paying for the house and doing everything else. I'm going to go to the firehouse. I'm going to go play this. I'm going to go hang out with my friends. That's the theme. And women are tired.
I believe in falling in love. I believe in partnership. And unfortunately, sometimes the vibe when somebody is reaching out to you is not about that type of partnership. It's more about, I need some women to do the cleaning, the cooking, the taking care of the children and all of that. Okay. And I always joke about this thing with my guy friends because I'm always like, do you guys just get tired of doing everything on your own that you just need a maid and a mom? It's like, everyone is entitled of their opinion, of course, and everyone decide to live their life the way they see fit. And you can't really blame somebody for wanting. You can blame women for wanting men who are successful as well, men who have, stability, financial stability, and all of that. Just like you cannot also blame men who want women to bring something to the table if the woman is capable of bringing something to the table. But regardless all of that, because those are materialistic things, I think people just have to be compatible because it's more important. Both of us can be bringing something to the table. Doesn't mean we're gonna last, right? There has to be some, emotional, spiritual, financial compatibility, physical compatibility. Like I want to be able to see the guy and feel like I'm attracted to him, just like I'm expecting that he should also be attracted to me. So there's a lot of factors that goes into, making a relationship work. It's not just about how much are you bringing to the table, what are you doing. I watch my sister who is married and the dynamic in her relationship, just like I watch my parents, right? Beautiful, right? It's not about, I don't do this because I'm a man. It's more about like, honey, how can I help you? And I think I've talked about this here where my dad was the sole breadwinner and he wanted many children with 6 of us from my parents. And my mom wanted to work. And then my dad was like, you don't have to work. I'll provide for the family. I will do this. I'll do that. And then they had this entire conversation before they even got married. And then my mom basically told my dad, I cannot, take care of all these children. So you're expecting me to do all, taking care of the children. I will need a maid. And this is in Cameroon, okay? This is not the US, so people don't freak out. In Africa, you can actually afford a babysitter, a maid, bodyguards, security guy, a cleaner. You can afford all of that at a reasonable price, okay? So the agreement was that, she needed somebody, she needed help. And my mom was a stay-home wife for the most part when we were growing up. And then at some point, she started investing into building her own, career. She was an entrepreneur in a way. She opened a restaurant. She was selling things, in Cameroon. She had a boutique, like so many things that she wanted to do. She eventually did them. But in the beginning of the marriage, like she made sure that she had all her children. And my dad always provided. Like whenever I ask my mom, how did you do it? How did you take care of 6 children? You know, she always says, I had help. Your dad understood that this is what I needed, and I had help. And it's unfortunate because I've had the same conversation with men my age, men my generation, and they would tell me, you know, oh, what do you need a maid for? You know, what do you need help for? You know, you're a woman, you're supposed to take care of the children, which is unfortunate. But anyway, guys, so I'm not going to make this video long. You guys should give me your opinion. What do you think about the whole subject matter? I wasn't going to make this video long. I kind of wanted to, that thing was itching. Okay. I just wanted to talk about it briefly. But yeah, that's basically it. Meanwhile, I'm a happy single woman, fabulously happy. And that's also a problem. Okay. That's also a problem because many of the times people feel like I act like I don't need a man. It's not like I act like I don't need a man. I just don't have a man and I'm focusing on me. I'm focusing on my career, you know, my family and things like that. And if a man happened to come along, I just wish that we're going to be compatible, okay? And that the expectation is not going to be unrealistic. So in the meantime, until then, we're going to be sipping our drink and living our best life. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think down below, or maybe don't. You know, I mean, I don't think I'm going to make a part 2 of this conversation unless you guys really trigger me or something. I just wanted to touch base on that. So thank you for watching. Bye.